Hello, hello, scrappy friends. Welcome to Workshop Wednesday. I am so glad to be here with all of you today. Today we're going to do a little bit of a product demonstration and a layout at the same time because the product that I want to share with you is Creative Memories Simple Page Kits. They started doing this at the beginning of the year, and they put out one a month, and the one we're going to work on today is number 10 for October. It has a little bit of a Halloween flair to it, and that's what they do. As they are putting out the page kits every month, they kind of put them out according to if there's any holidays or any events that happen in that month. They put out a new page kit, and it goes along with the This Life collection, and so the color palette is very similar. And from what I've heard is this is going to continue into the new year. So fun. And I love the page kits, and we're going to talk more about that in a little bit because I know I want to talk about like the price point and some of the things that you get with it and how you can change it to, if you need to suit your needs. Okay, so let me go ahead and flip us over to my desktop. That way I can talk and share this at the same time. Okay, so this is what page kit number 10 looks like. This is what you get in the kit. You start off with 2 pieces of pattern paper. These are very similar to what our Fast to Fab pages would look like. So it's used for the background, and it already has this purple strip printed on it. If you didn't want the purple strip, you can always turn it over and then just use the orange dots on the second side. Okay, so you get 2 pieces for your background, and then you get 1 piece that we're going to use for trimming. It has a cut guide on the back, so it makes it very easy. And you also get a sticker sheet and a nice handout with the cutting guide to explain how you're going to cut it and assemble it. The kits are $5.50 in United States, and I think it's a good price point because if you bought these 3 pieces individually, the 2 for your background and the 1 piece here, that's going to be $3, and then the sticker sheet, 1 sticker sheet would be a $3 value as well. So $6 value for only $5.50. So right away you're saving a little bit, and let's face it, in this economy a little bit goes a long way, right? But no, seriously, so that's the first savings. And then, but if you look at how they use the paper, so here they have this purple running across, and if you were going to put this together, which we're going to do at after we're done here, put it together with other paper, then this is going to be another sheet of paper, and then this is going to be another sheet of paper, the stripes, and then your photo mats would be 2 more pieces of paper, 2 pieces of cardstock. So you can see we would have 2 for a background, so 2, 3, we can get both these cuts on 1, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We would need 6 pieces of paper. That would be about $6. Throw in the sticker sheet, that would be $9. So that's where you're really going to get the value of the simple page kits, because you don't have to have all the other coordinating papers. Okay, now you would have leftovers on this, and you can move them to another layout, which then brings down your cost per layout. But I wanted to show you the value of the page kit alone. Okay, so I have my background pieces here, and I'm just going to slide them out of the way, and we're going to do some very simple cutting because all of our cuts are right here on the back of that 3rd sheet. These are the pieces that we cut, and it's so easy to assemble. We're just going to take 1 of the striped piece and put it at the top, 1 down here at the bottom, and we're going to repeat that on the 2nd page. So not only simple cuts, but a simple layout. And it's such a great use of stripes too, because I feel like stripes is that one pattern that we don't use that often because it's a little intimidating. But here you can see we're just going to use it in a small amount at the top and the bottom, and it really highlights our page. Okay, that's it for our background. of the layout. And now I'm going to bring in the photo mat, the mats that we're going to place, and my photo cards, so we can see where photos are going to go. So we're going to take the two orange ones and put them right here at the inseam of our layout, and then we take these and we turn them horizontally and put them to the outside of the layout. And that's really it. We would put photos here. These would be 3.5 by 5.5, so a nice size photo. I like that size, and we can get 4 of them along the bottom. And then up in here, now here you would have a choice because they put the dots all the way around, which just adds to the cuteness of this page kit, in my opinion. But if you didn't like that, you can still have plenty of room here to trim that down and get rid of those dots if you wanted to. So our photos here are a little bit smaller. These horizontal ones are 4 3/4 by 3.5. So you see here, you have a little bit extra room. You could put a little bit bigger photo there too if you wanted to. And then vertical. So I love this layout because we get both our vertical and our horizontal photos on here, which we love. We have our base done. We have our photos placed. So now I would move on to the actual decorating. And I'm going to bring back in that sticker sheet. They give you everything you need here if you want to make it exactly like they did. And I'm going to pop it up here on the screen because I want to talk about it a little bit before I decorate mine. They used a lot of stickers on theirs. You'll see a lot of different areas. They used the spider webs as little cute little photo corners. I like that. But you guys, if you follow me, you know I like to cluster my my stickers and things together in little groupings. I don't usually have them spread out so much over the layout. Total personal choice. If you know you like that, I think this is a great layout. I do love all the words that they put around. They used a lot of the words to accent the photos. I do like that, but for my personal choice, I am not going to do the stickers the way they recommend here. I'm going to do something a little bit different. But I wanted to show this because they give you all the stickers on here that you need to make the layout exactly how they have it. One last thing I wanted to do on my layout before we move on is I want to take the border sticker that they gave us. It's so cute. It has little spiders crawling along, and I like the thickness of it. It's very thin, and it goes right here to cover up that seam or that transition between all the papers. And yes, I would recommend putting the photo mat on first because the photo mat goes from the top to the bottom, and then you can put your sticker on. That's cute too. Adds a little bit of the softness with the swerviness. That's how they would do the layout, and of course the stickers that I just showed you how they used it on the original layout. But I'm going to do something a little different. Here's where I'm going to expand on this layout, but you can see how quick it was to put together, and I'm just going to add a few things to make it more my style. So a lot of you might think, hey, this is it, I want to do what they did, be done with it, that's great. And others of you might think this is too simple for me, I want to add a little bit more. So that's what we're going to do here. I'm going to bring in my border making cartridge, and I went for double rickrack for 2 reasons. One, I'm hoping it's going to mimic this a little bit here, but also I love the fact that we get 2 out of 1 punch, and I also like the slimness of it. It's going to be a small little accent, and I'm going to bring it in right down here. Down here I'm going to add the 1 strip of the double rickrack. It's going to look like this. Going to put it right there on the edge of that paper, again to cover up the seam and to use my tools. I love that. Another thing that I talk about a lot is when we want to expand the layout and add a little bit more pop to it, then start bringing in our tools like we did here, but also some other layers. So on this particular layout, I did want to bring in some more paper, and here's where I'm going to bring in the black. I'm just bringing in a little piece, and most of it's going to be covered up. So this is a 5x7 piece, and I'm actually going to slide it right here underneath this photo block here, and I'm going to push it all the way next to the orange photo mat and put it like that, and then bring back in this so it'll look like that. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, and make sure you're putting it at the same level, and it's going to look like we have one more layer of paper running behind. I went with the black polka dots because there's a lot of other polka dots on here, and I thought it gave it another playful feel. That's another way I would expand these. Another thing you can do here is, if you didn't want to put a whole layer of paper like this, you could always double mat that photo. Now, another thing I wanted you to think about is kind of thinking outside of the box a little bit. I'm going to bring in my custom cutting system and cut out some circles, but I don't want to bring in too much other paper, and I kind of want it to match. So what I'm going to do is a little trick here. We used to do this all the time in the old days. Let me know if you've done this. I'm going to pick up my picture here and cut out my circle underneath, and then cover it back up with my photo so that I could get a little piece of this purple and move it up to my layout. Okay, so I'm actually going to do 2 of them, and it should fit pretty good. I shouldn't have any problems. I'm going to try and center it where my photo is going to be, and go for it. I'm using blue on the inside track, which will actually make the smallest circle we can with this template, but it is the large template. Let's see if it worked. And it does. Nobody will know the difference once it's in my album. I'm going to scoot over here and do my second one. Do the same thing behind those. It's kind of like gutting our paper. We're just being a little bit more specific. This now gives me the ability to bring in some of the paper to the top of the layout without cutting into another whole sheet. So I'm probably going to do something like that. You know, I'm going to want to cluster those embellishments. They have this one that says Happy Halloween. I'm looking for a title. I like that one. They also have the Happy Hauntings. Well, let's see if we're gonna, this one's really kind of big, but let's see, we could scoot our circle up, kind of place this over the circle and over our new layer and our photo mat. Let me get some foam tape for that. And we're gonna put this one right up here. On the foam tape, it lets me play with it a little bit more too, to move it around. So yep, I like it. I like that it has that circle element behind it, and our title is nice and popped up there. Going on, there's a few ghosts down here that you have to kind of look closely on here. There's some white stars and things that you might not see. I'm thinking that let's grab a ghost, and I'm gonna tuck him right in like this, like he's coming out. There we go. Now, if you saw my video I posted yesterday on YouTube, I made this tray full of little embellishment pieces that I'm going to be using with the Booyah collection. But I think it's going to be, some of these will be perfect for this collection as well. So I made a bunch of little spider webs using the spiderweb frame punch. So if you want to see how to do that, hop over to YouTube. And I like just having these available so I could use them for tucking. And I think this is going to be a perfect place to tuck one. So I'm going to come right up here. Let's see, let me turn it a little bit, have it coming out the side there. I punched with the embossed blossoms punch and made some Halloween inspired flowers. And I talked in that video about how once you punch it in the black and orange, it automatically takes on a Halloween look to it, doesn't it? Looking if I had a better one. This one has a little bit of a miscut right there, but I did talk about that in that video, so let's use it. Can turn it and maybe layer this one on top so it'll look like that. So this way I could get my florals in on even my Halloween pages. Love it. The ghost looks like he's popping out saying Happy Halloween. And then I would probably want to come down here somewhere to put another embellishment, small, because we have a lot of photos going on here, and I don't want to change that because I do want to get 8 photos on this one layout. I think that's awesome. So I'm going to bring back in my tray and look for, I'm thinking of going for the firework. Maybe not so bright. I did make a few on the shimmer paper. So I have parakeet green here. And I'm just going to maybe put that down here somewhere. I could put it off to the edge and then trim off anything overhanging. And there we go. When I adhere it, I make sure I don't adhere where the photo is going to go. So I'm only going to adhere the part that's going to be on the paper, and the rest doesn't have adhesive. That way, once I put the photo on, I could just slide it right under. So it'll look like that, and I'll come back and trim up that. And let's look for a sticker or something. The candy corns are super cute, but I think I'm going to go with the jack-o'-lantern. Yep, let's put it up on a little bit of foam. I don't even think that needs anything else. I'm going to leave it just like that. And the last thing I want to do on this is come back in with some gems up here. So I pulled out a few from my stash. I happen to have black, and I did a few. So I'll do that, and then orange, just coming back in and putting something up there to catch your attention. And that's how I would expand it to make it more my style. I have my cluster bases off to the sides, not so much in my photos like they had. And I might come back through and put some of these cute things once I have my photos ready. So let me kind of clean this up really fast, and I'm going to bring in how can we use this to even further our experience with the simple page kits, because there's one more thing I want to highlight. You know, the value of the simple page kit, and one of the values that I think is the actual printout that we get here, because we could now take the measurements. Now that we've cut everything, we can take the measurements and use this same idea for another page, and that is a pretty good value, right? We could also turn the pages different ways to put that strip on the outside, and so we can keep using the same page layout with different papers, different photos, different embellishments, and it's going to take on a whole new look. So I want to do that with you today as well. And so I'm going to give you the measurements for this page kit. So if you want to recreate it using different paper. So I said that we need like maybe 6 pieces of paper if we wanted to do this with our own paper from our stash, and probably most of us have 6 pieces laying in our stash somewhere. And so, but I'm going to try and do a little bit of a paper saving technique as well. So I'm bringing in some of this some paper from Welcome Baby collection, and I happen to have these 2 left, which I just love for a background. It's white with a little bit of a beige stripes going across like a checkered, and so I really love that background, and I love this piece of paper, and I love both sides, and that's what I wanted to show you. So if you like both sides of the paper and you want to do some paper saving for this technique, then this is going to be very helpful. If not, you want to bring in 2 different pieces to do this. Let's get to cutting. So I'm going to start off by doing the strips. So we did 4 strips, and those were 3/4 of an inch each. Okay, so we have 2 for each side. Now we can take this piece and flip it over, because I want to use this side, and I'm going to do 2 pieces at 4.5 inches each. And then we're going to bring this up. It was about 1 inch from the bottom on our original layout. So are you seeing the layout coming together now? And then we'll take our strips like we did before, 1 at the top. Let's put that one at the bottom. And then we're going to bring in our mats, and you can use mat cards or just some cardstock, which is what I did just to show you. And I cut 2 with the yellow to match my flowers, and this is canary yellow, and I'm going to do the same thing. I cut these at 4.5 by 6.5, and it's a little bigger than what I had on the other ones, but that's okay. I could either trim it or I can just tuck it in underneath. Okay, so I have those 2 there. Then I brought in some dark sea green, for my other 2 photo masks, which would go right here. Now let's just talk real quickly about some embellishment. This is the Welcome Baby collection. I don't have a lot of these embellishments, but I have a few left from when I actually did the artsy add-on. So let's see. If you wanted to keep it true to the collection, I'd probably bring this down a little bit. And this one I would probably tuck. And the collection came with these cute little cattails. So depending on my photos, that would make a big difference too. There we go. You wanted to keep true to the collection, but I wanted to kind of go more off of my floral paper. So I'm going to take out the things, those cattails, and bring in some of the yellow flowers from the Floral Essentials. And I'd probably do some tucking up here. And another one over here. I brought in some leaves because I thought that would be kind of fun. I like the darker ones because I have brought in some darker tones with the dark sea green. I thought I would try and get in some of this darker floral, but I'm not sure. It's seeming a little dark all of a sudden. I do have some lighter green here, but first I do have some white flowers from my stash I thought I would try out. Kind of layer it between those. These came with a little bit of foam tape. Be gentle. Put them on here gentle in case I change my mind. Like this one I want to bring out a little bit. Let me change the color. Let me try the lighter green and make it a little bit more springy. I kind of like that one better all of a sudden. Now let's see if we can get these in here. Maybe off to the side a little bit. Between there. Let's see about doing the same thing on the other side, either here or even here. Let's get that out of there. Yeah, I'd probably just arrange it a little bit better so that you can kind of see everything, but you're getting the idea, right? And then I brought in some gems if I wanted to spruce that up. But there we go. That is the exact same page layout. Again, we would bring in our photos down, and just like that, we recreated it with using different paper. So there you go. It shows that you can get that value out of the sheet and use it using different papers, different, maybe even different tools down here. I could bring in something else, but different border stickers if we wanted to. But it doesn't even look like the simple page kit that we just did, right? The Halloween one. So I hope that you enjoyed that. I had fun. Let me come on back. There we go. I had a lot of fun showing you Creative Memories Simple Page Kit number 10. I hope that you give these a try. There's 10 now, but I know some of them have sold out, but there's 2 more coming this year. So keep an eye out and throw one in your cart next time you're there. Okay? Well, take care, everybody, and happy Wednesday. And prayers to all of our scrapbooking friends over on the East Coast. I'm thinking about you a lot. I will come back next week and we will do a Keeping It Simple page from our 101 scrapbooking idea books. And I was right last week. They did bring out a new idea book. If you haven't seen it, pop on over. It's time to get it for free if you spend $100 or more. And once they're gone, they're gone. So go over there and check it out. It's project recipes this year. So much fun. And I will be using that next year for sure. So anyway, take care, everybody. And I'll see you next week. Okay. Bye-bye.